Okay, day 26 of my Australian Alps Walking Track adventure. That's the crosscut saw there behind me with the cloud coming off it. So I'm up at Mount Buggery, camped, slept well last night, nice camp, bit of rain, but it wasn't too bad. So first thing this morning, I'm heading across to McAllister Springs across the crosscut saw to get some water. And then I'll head out to Chester's Yards to camp tonight, with the idea being tomorrow I'm going to push all the way across to Low Saddle and not try and find water up near Knobs Track, because it's the law of diminishing returns applies there. You have to drop so far down, it's not even worth it. Sometimes you drink it all on the way back up. So anyway, that's into the future. Let's get today. Today is going to be awesome. I'll catch up with you. So that's where I'm heading. So that's the mysterious Wanangata Valley down there. And that is the Viking with the razor just poking its head out in the distance. So I'm just making my way out to the crosscut saw from Mount Buggery. The clouds lifted a bit now, so ironically I'm in the cloud, I haven't got much views. There is blue sky above me though, so hopefully it'll lift by the time I get to the open areas on the crosscut saw. Fairly slow going along here. I'm being a little bit cautious this morning. So that quad that I tweaked yesterday fairly badly seems to have settled down. Had another anti-inflammatory last night when I went to bed, and yeah, I mean, I felt a couple of little twinges this morning, but nothing too bad. So I don't want to aggravate it. I want today to be a fairly easy day. Let it get 100%, because tomorrow is going to be a big day. Well, the sun's shining down there, definitely not up here. Yet. So we're in the heart of the Alps now. That's a terrible hollow down there. I think it's actually on the other side of those crags. That flat one in the distance is Howard. This is the crosscut saw. And those cliff lines over there, Mount Magdala. And that one in the distance is possibly the Bluff, or maybe Ginny Squarehead. I'm not sure. There's a inappropriate name. that's the way I've come this morning. Speculation's still in cloud, I think. All right, brekie's been consumed. I'm heading over to that flat one now. I just got some intel that the spring on the side of Mount Howard has got some water in it, so that'll save me dropping down to McAllister Springs if that's the case. So that mountain in the distance, which I'll zoom in a bit on, that's Mount Buller. I wonder if that's a peregrine. So this is walking the crosscut saw. What an amazing walk. So this little saddle here is where the Stanley name spur comes in. So that's it coming in on the right down there. I'm going around the left there. There's a good campsite and water down there, but it's about, it's a fair drop down. McAllister Springs is probably a better option if you're looking for a camp with water. While I'm out, to be honest with you, the navigation was probably some of the easiest of the trip through there. The walking itself is pretty tough though. Mount Howard there. So that's Terrible Hollow down there. There's the Viking in the distance. So this is the turn off to McAllister Springs, just down there on the left. I'm heading right though towards Walhalla. Alright, let's find some water. So the spring on the side of Mount Howard has got plenty of water, which is good to see. That pipe there's flowing well. Those ones are trickling down the bottom there. So that saved me dropping down to McAllister Springs. So I'm up on Mount Howard. You can see the last few days walking. So there's the Razor and the Viking over there. I don't know if you can see, someone's on the Razorback. I can see a person there on the crosscut saw. Some people there where they're coming up on the video. And that's speculation over there on the other side of the crosscut saw and Mount Buggery. But I'm heading this way. Next one will be Mount Magdala and Hell's Window over there. So I'm just dropping into Hellfire Saddle now. That's Mount Magdala towering over the top. That'll be the next objective. I might stop for a break when I get to the top of that, I think. Have some lunch. It's about 11:45 now. It'll take me an hour and a half to get up there though. I'm not exactly fast. I cover distance, but it's mainly because I walk all day and don't stop much. So this is Hellfire Pass or Hellfire Saddle. The creek, Hellfire Creek down off the side there, sometimes has water. I'm not going to drop down today. It's a beautiful campsite, this one. A little bit earlier in the year, there was an Australian Alps AAWT walker coming through, and she got a tent kind of ripped open and one of her bags stolen here. It looked like it was probably a dog. But yeah, pretty scary thing to happen. So just, I don't know, I haven't heard any more reports about it here, but just be careful if you're camping here. Any of the popular sites, the only time I've had trouble, strangely enough, was down at Gill Creek where not many people would go, I wouldn't have thought. But normally the popular sites near the huts are the ones where you have to be careful of the critters coming into your tents. Or the popular camping spots like this one, everyone knows, or most people know about Hellfire. All right, I'll catch you. I've got to get up this mountain. Okay, that track junction there is something of a rarity on the AAWT. You can actually use that track on the left and sidle Mount Magdala rather than going up over the top. But it is the Alps track, so I'm going over the top. So there's the iconic Hell's Window on the climb up Mount Magdala. Wild Magazine used one of my photos from here in one of their articles once. For all those train spotters out there that like walking. Okay, made it to the summit of Mount Magdala. That's looking across to where I camped last night. I don't know if it's coming out. That's that one. Where's my finger? That one there. It's kind of in the shadow of Speculation. Speculation's in the background, the big one. And then that's the crosscut saw I walked this morning. Mount Howard. The one in the middle is called Big Hill. And my immediate future is down here over to those two there, they're King Billy 1 and 2, and then over to Chester's Yard. So I don't follow this ridge along here. I'm guessing that's the bluff, that one up there. Looks pretty bald. I'm kind of skirting around in a big U now. So I'm thinking that one in the distance there, that's Mount Clear. So I'm heading there. And those twin peaks poking over the top there, it's probably Mount McDonald. So that'll be tomorrow sometime, along with Mount Clear. All going well. It's a stunning day though. So progress is being made. That's Mount Magdala back over there. I'm heading up here and then I'll swing left up onto the King Billies. So the last bit of the climb up to the King Billies is a little bit faint. You meet a fire track and then follow up for about 50 metres, then you kind of veer up through this light scrub. There is a track. There are amazing snow gums up here. So rather than follow the four-wheel drive track around, you're better off doing the official route up here. I think. It's not a particularly hard climb either. So I'm up on King Billy number 1, looking back to where I've come, spin it around, and that's where I'm going. And that one over there is Mount McDonald. I'll be there tomorrow. And just like that, I'm up on King Billy number 2 after a little bit of rough walking. A slightly lower cousin, King Billy number 1, or brother, or sister for that matter, I suppose. There's meant to be weather coming tonight. I reckon it's on its way. Alright, let's get down to camp. I've got to get off this mountain first. Then it'll be grassy four-wheel drive tracks all the way to Chester's Yard from memory. Oh. So I'm just following this old four-wheel drive track around to Chester's Yards now. Probably about, I don't know, 10 minutes away, I guess. There was a car parked up at Brock's Road off the King Billies, and there's a boot print going this way, so I guess there's a deer hunter after here. I doubt very much he's camping at Chester's Yard, but I hope there's not too many people there because there's not a lot of room. Anyway, I'll find somewhere else to camp if I can't get in there. So I'm here at Chester's Yards, nice and early today, which is good, so I'll have a bit of a rest because I've got a big day tomorrow. The weather's kind of closing in. I'm going to cook tea. The water here comes from a spring, so where it flows across this old track, it's not real good, but just here, it's coming out of the ground pretty much. So there's some good water in there if anyone comes down here. All right, time for tea and then I'll sign off in a minute. Okay, I almost forgot to do a sign off video today. I'm in the tent, as you can tell. It's just getting dark. So, according to All Trails, I think I did about 18 or 19 Ks and climbed about just under 1,000 metres, which sounds about right. It was a very slow morning. It took me about 3 hours to do the first 3 kilometres along the Crosscut Soar and Mount Howard, I was just mucking around, taking photos, soaking it all in. And in the afternoon, King Billy's are a little bit rough. The track's very vague, if there is a track, and there's a lot of big rocks in the grass, so a bit slow there. But then I was over here over at Chester's Yard by about 4:30, I think, so that wasn't too bad. It was an early day. So tomorrow the plan is I'm going to try and make a push for low saddle. I've got a food drop and water over there. Knobs Track's notoriously painful to get water, and I think I can do low saddle in a day pretty easy, so we'll see how we go. Mind you, the weather's not meant to be great, so that might slow me down a little bit. We'll see what happens. All right, I'll touch base in the morning for another fun-filled day on the Australian Alps Walking Track.